beginning my first online dialogue. It's the 7th in the dialogue series. And this is with my friend, Phil Gould. And he's from England. He's sort of near the English Channel by the tunnel. And I'm going to let him tell you about how we met. And then he and I will just go where the dialogue takes us.
Okay. Yes. I was a student of A Course in Miracles and loving it. And I heard somebody who just come across A Course of Love. And this was in the UK. And I couldn't resist the urge to get hold of the book. So I went to the website and I got it and started reading it. And then I thought, I want to meet people who are reading it because it demands to be shared. And so I joined Mari's Facebook group. And I was very suspicious of Facebook groups, wondering whether actually you could speak genuinely on Facebook groups and be listened to and be supported, and whether you could avoid getting into arguments and all that sort of stuff that Facebook groups so easily do. And I found that it was wonderfully supportive and a wonderful opportunity to do what I needed to do, which was to express this amazing experience of reading this book and connecting with other people that were doing the same. And Mari is one of the contributors in the book. And I've loved your contributions, Mari. I love your blog, and you really speak to me.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you talked about Facebook, though, because I felt the same way about it. You know, when I started, I was pretty suspicious of it. And could it be good? And, you know, probably you're the first dialogue I've had with somebody I really don't know very well. You know, we haven't been emailing for years or anything like that. But what I liked about you right away was your honesty on Facebook. I remember one, I think you started saying something like, what do I feel? And then you did not list a bunch of joyous feelings. You know, you were talking and seemed to always have talked so honestly about your experience. And then I think starting about in July, when you'd been to a Quaker meeting, and you expressed something about your greatest wish being wanting to be in voice, being expressing yourself truthfully as who you are. And since then, you've been talking about dialogue. And so I actually missed a phone call with you. You had initiated a call with my publisher and myself with the idea of expanding A Course of Love's reach a little in England. And I missed it, and I felt bad about that. So I set up another call, and what really surprised me, and it's what I love about the mystery of connections, is that I really looked forward to that call with you. And from that moment on, and sharing that call with you, I feel like we do have a connection that just exists. And so now we get to explore that. And that's one of my main loves of Course of Love, is that it feels so connected. Does it feel that way to you also?
Well, it does. And I had mixed feelings about the recording of our conversation. On the one hand, I'm very excited about it, and because I love what you're trying to do here, and what you're more than trying, what you're actually succeeding in doing, which is to show relationships in action in these in these videos.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what I really want to do more than anything else is to practice, because all my life, I don't know how other people have seen me, but I have always felt that I've been false. And the idea of being able to actually be myself and satisfy myself that I am telling the truth about how I feel, or it's not just how I feel, it's not just all about emotion, it's a sense of knowing, actually. I have had from time to time a strong sense of knowing something. So I'm familiar with the sort of feelings I'm beginning to get now through A Course of Love and through all these dialogues of really being connected with myself and with those around me. But it's one thing having that idea, that thought. It's quite another thing actually speaking from that position when one's in conversation with people. And this, challenging though it is, because I don't feel very worthy or adequate to do this honest, open, full of integrity kind of conversation, because I don't feel I've done very much of that in my life, and I need a lot of practice. And this was a great opportunity to practice, even though it's quite a challenging one.
Well, I think it's the thing about dialogue is it's unrepeatable. It's not like there are any right answers.
No.
I'm just saying that the form matches the content in a way, because it's like if you're in a classroom or something, there's that idea, of right answers. Or if you're teaching or learning, you've got sort of a unequal context in your mind. And when you're in dialogue as friends, there's sort of an unconditional love nature of friendship, I think, that you like the other person as they are and you want to know them. And that's sort of the purpose, rather than, it's not about learning something about something. It's about this shared humanity and sharing spirit.
You express that beautifully, and I take your point. Say it's more getting used to just being me, not hiding anything, not knowing what I'm going to say next.
Yeah.
Responding. Yes, just being spontaneous. It's a spontaneity which I need to practice, if that's not a contradiction in terms. And for me, it's not a contradiction in terms. It's a feeling. It's of letting go. Practice of letting go, if you like.
Absolutely.
And I love this, what we're doing now, because it's in part because you are somebody that I can do that with, and there aren't that number of people around who are in that game.
I do. I mean, you've given some great examples on Facebook, like just visits with family or things like that, where you really want to be expressive of something a little bit deeper than family usually talks about. And it's really difficult to be. But I think these kinds of relationships are ones that we really feel are essential to us. That getting that opportunity to be real, to be ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have some, good friends, good relationships where you do feel like you can express yourself, or perhaps with your Quaker group?
Increasingly with that, and people seem to respond very much to that.
Isn't that something?
And I think family do too, actually respond to that. It's more a question of seeing things differently, really. I feel, I sense, I experience. One can be drowned in one's suspicion, one's the world which is against me, the needing to protect my ego from insults, needing to protect my space. It's that sort of protective thing. Or one can look at it in a different way. And I think if I know that if I can come into an interaction, a relationship, a meeting, an encounter, seeing us, then I'm going to convey that sense of unity.
I like that.
And that's pretty irresistible, really. I was talking just to somebody at a Quaker meeting the other day who said that she thought that most people had an experience of, I can't remember the word she used, but a profound experience of knowing that there's more to life than can be seen, a profound spiritual experience. They might talk about it in different sorts of ways. It doesn't matter how they talk about it, but she thought most people do. And I think that is probably correct. Certainly I have, and there's nothing special about me. And the experience has been so vivid a few times as it's occurred previously in my life, that it lasted with me. And what I keep experiencing now is a reminder of that. It's amazing. I didn't realize how significant that those experiences were, that knowledge, that sense of, I know something here, and all the tensions that this little group I'm with are experiencing are meaningless. They don't seem to know it at the moment, but I know it, and everything is okay. An amazing sense of knowing something. And studying doesn't really get you to that. It's very interesting, isn't it, this process of reading the books.